Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the August fusion that will start next Thursday on the 1st of August. So I wanted to leave it a few days because, most of the big people, most of the big guys are making videos on it. And you know what? I usually get lost in between those ones. So I wanted to go over his kit myself and I wanted to tell you if he's worth it or not to fuse. So his name is this one over here, Skorid The Halfspawn. He's going to be a legendary attack magic champion, which we don't have that many of. If we look into the demon spawn faction, we do have some proper attack ones, but the only other one that we have as an attack one is going to be Halfrak, and I personally don't have him, which means that getting Skorid is going to be one of the things that maybe I should be doing. And even if you go look further down, there's not a magic based DPS, so it kind of gives us a reason to fuse Skorid. So first of all, let's see what do they have to say about it. So first of all, it's going to be a short thing, okay? Being a pretty straightforward damage dealer, Skorid's role is to utilize the potential of a Hex debuff. It will allow this champion to boost their own turn meter, ignore the target's defense, and increase the damage inflicted by Skorid The Halfspawn, thus making this champion a strong choice for Hydra battles. And that's about it. That's pretty straightforward. So one thing to keep in mind is this fusion is going to be a standard fusion. Okay, what do I mean by that is it's going to be something like, for example, broad modules, we're going to have epics, we're going to have rares, and then we're going to fuse those into the legendary. Okay, so keep that in mind. It is going to be a little bit, more work that needs to be put into this, which means we're going to have to farm for essential potions, for the epics, for the rares, and then, we're going to be able to fuse the legendary. And from my point of view, kind of like I said on the thumbnails, I believe that 99% of people should be going for this fusion. If you're early, mid, late, and end game, I believe he's worth it as a good damage dealer for Hydra. Let's just say that he can do pretty good damage. Okay, that's all I'm gonna leave it at. More we're gonna see next week once we get access to the tester and can share stuff. But let's look at his kit. What is he all about? So the A1 Hex Spire attacks one enemy, has a when booked 60% chance of applying a debuff spread effect, taking one Hex debuff and placing it on all enemies. If the target isn't under a Hex debuff, will spread one random debuff instead. Debuff spread on the A1, that's pretty good because you can, you could use an ally attack with him, you can use a retaliation or revenge accessories on him, and every time he does an A1, he's going to be applying this debuff spread, which means it's pretty good. If you don't have Hex, he's going to put Hex out there. If you do have Hex, well, he's going to spread another debuff, which again, that's pretty good. Then A2, an Anathema Burst, 4-turn cooldown, goes down to a 3-turn cooldown. Attacks one enemy, pretty simple. Before attacking, places an increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. That's amazing. Straight up, that's amazing. Makes him a good damage dealer, not only for Hydra, but you know what? Maybe even for Arena, maybe even for Dungeons, for Doom Tower. If he's gonna hit it, hard enough, he's gonna be really good. And he does hit pretty decent. So the before attacking does that one, but then this is the cool part, repeats the attack on all enemies under a Hex debuff. So this one pretty much is an AoE hit, and I think the cool thing about this, like I might be wrong, but keep an eye on Seth's channel and HH Gaming's channel, because he usually does good deep dives on this. But usually when we have this type of a thing, like repeats the attack on all enemies, there's 2 things that usually happen in the coding. First of all, the damage that he is going to do on other people is going to be higher because most of the time they just remultiply this one, the damage that you get from here, and they remultiply the damage from the crit damage. So the initial hit might not be as strong, but all the other hits are going to be, or should be, a little bit stronger. And not only that, the second thing that he's going to do is, well, he's gonna do this damage as, I think, again, don't quote me, but if I'm not wrong, they're gonna count as single target damage. So if we take into account the fact that the Head of Suffering mitigates a lot of the AoE damage and most of the heads mitigate lots of the single target damage itself, then this one's not gonna be affected by that, okay? Because he says repeats the attack on all enemies, which means he's gonna repeat single target attack, which means he's gonna hit hard. So definitely something to keep in mind, for this, about this. Like, why can I not speak? Why can I not speak? This attack will ignore shield buffs against targets under Hex. So, again, if you use him in Arena and there's bolster, shield sets, if you manage to place the Hex out there, he's also going to ignore those shields, so this could be interesting for you. I'm not saying he's a top tier Arena nuker, okay? For maybe progressing accounts, he can be good because, again, he can boost his own attack, but for most, like, if you're endgame, definitely you're not going to use him in Arena. Then the A3, Infernal Malediction. Again, goes down to a 3-turn cooldown. Let me move myself to the other side. Attacks all enemies. Good. It's a good start. AoE. Before attacking, places a Hex debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. The damage inflicted by the skill increases by 20% for each Hex debuff placed. So think about it like this. Let's say you go into the Hydra. Let's say you're lucky and you do not weak hit. You place 4 hexes. He's gonna do 80% more damage. That's basically almost double the damage on an AoE hit. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. I would say that the way that I would build this champion or the team around him for Hydra is I would bring no other Hex champion in the team. Just let him be the only one that applies Hex. And then also don't bring somebody like Lady Mikage that extends debuffs. Just let him to keep applying that Hex. Let the Hex drop off, let him applying it again. And well, basically he's gonna do a ton of damage with this. Then also heal this champion by 20% of their max HP for each Hex debuff resisted or blocked. This is something that I will have to test. I wonder if this counts for not placing the Hex. So let's say there's already Hex on everybody out there. If you do this hit and you don't land it, does this mean he's gonna heal for like 80% HP? Because if that's the case, that's massive, okay? That's a lot of self-sustain. So not only would he bring the increased attack for himself and bring you the Hex, but he also brings self-sustain. Then the passive Halfspawn fills the champion's turn meter by 10% when attacking targets without a Hex debuff. Will ignore 15% of the target's defense when they are under a Hex debuff. So it's a pretty simple, pretty straightforward kit, but I believe it's amazing. Like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think you're going to be going for him or not? Because, like I said, looking at him, and I'm also keeping in mind in the back of my head that they did say they're gonna tweak a little bit Hydra, which means, from my point of view, that they're gonna basically nerf the Trunda teams, nerf the the Yanaka teams, which, well, pretty much they're cheese teams, okay? They're not proper teams who just full-on damage dealers like you would have, I don't know, max HP ones, Marias, Akrisias, Gnuts, or even like Michinakis and stuff like that. So I have a feeling like for the long run, he's gonna be awesome. I might even, like I said, I'm gonna test him, I'm gonna see what damage he does. And that's going to be one of the first videos I'm going to release once we can do that, once we get access to the test server. But all in all, this is my opinion. Again, I'm not saying this is like the perfect thing to do, but from my point of view, 99% of players should get him because he's going to be a solid damage dealer, especially for Hydra. But not only that, again, if you're progressing account, he can be a good nuker for, let's say you don't have somebody like a Seer. Well, he has good AoEs on A3 and A2, so he could be your wave clearer. Just don't bring anybody else with Hex. Bring somebody with decreased defense weaken. He just explodes the first wave. Go to the next one. If you bring somebody with Hex to land Hex on the second one, this one is going to explode as well. Like, I have a feeling he's going to be really good. So I'm personally going to go for him. I suggest you guys do it as well. But this is going to be pretty much it for today, guys. Just a quick update on this Champion Chase tournament with the... If you've been following along my sharp pulls over the weekend, I did rage spam. I did bring Lily on the channel. If you didn't see the video, go check out yesterday's video, or it's going to be up here at the end of this one. But it seems like the pesky dingo is going to be taking it. I don't think I'm going to be buying any more voids, and I don't think I'm going to pull everything to get the 6-star perfect soul for Ninja, because I'm not sure I'm that desperate to get him. So I guess I'm just gonna leave this for the pesky dingo, and it is what it is. Maybe next time, maybe, hopefully, they're gonna release, like I said, a Path event or a Titan event so that we can get a soul for Ninja that's a 5-star. So this is what I'm hoping. You know how we have the Serpent event for Mistrala? I hope that after this one's finished, we're gonna get one, or maybe in like 2 weeks after the fusion's finished, we're gonna maybe get one for Ninja. But anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.